banner night in Florida, and the league gives us a 5 p.m. start time against the Blackhawks. Who's putting together this schedule? Okay, if you don't know, the NHL released their opening night schedule. Not their full schedule. That's happening on July 16th, even though there's leaks of team schedules being sent out there like it's the Epstein files. I don't understand that. It's a schedule. What are we leaking here? Anyways, so the triple header on opening night goes as follows. It's the Blackhawks against the Panthers, Pittsburgh and New York against the Rangers, and Colorado against Los Angeles. And I don't have a problem with, the second game and the third game. It's more the first game here. Like, what screams banner night about half your fans not being there because they're still at work? I don't get this. And it bothers me because, and maybe it shouldn't bother me that much. I'm just ranting here, but I feel like the NHL's been on a heater since the Four Nations. It's been great. I mean, that ended up being a global event. Everyone thought that was going to be a joke of a tournament, me included, and it wasn't. And it set like a fire under the ass of the NHL, and I just felt like it got better. We had a great playoffs. The NHL I think, is a really good place, and this is how they're starting opening night. And this is obviously not the be-all, end-all, but I get, obviously, the Panthers being there, championship team, get the first game, absolutely. But don't give them a lottery team. Like, the Blackhawks are not relevant right now, or as relevant as they should be. I mean, Connor Bedard doesn't have the same pull that he did in his first season when he lined up against Sidney Crosby, right? The biggest storyline that's going to be following the Blackhawks this year is how much money are they going to give Connor Bedard? It's the final year of his ELC. He's going to be an RFA. What's that deal going to look like? What kind of year is he going to have? But to get people to tune in because it's the Blackhawks playing the Panthers, like, that's not going to pull anybody in. And this is coming off last season where opening night took a hit viewership-wise. Like, and obviously they did. If you look at some of the games, look at this. Blues against the Kraken. Why would the NHL season start with the Blues against the Kraken? No disrespect to those two teams, but they're not exactly moving the needle. I understand having a Midwest team in there, but God. Then you had the Bruins, Panthers, okay. Blackhawks in Utah. You want to introduce a new team against the Blackhawks? Like I said, Midwest team, original 16. You're going to get some eyes for that. But they could have done so much better here, in my opinion, with this triple header. Now look at the second game. You have the built-in storyline of Mike Sullivan, Penn's former coach, now coaching the Rangers. You get Crosby and MSG, maybe one of the last times we see that. Obviously not the last, but we're getting close to the end of his career. And then you get the Avs and Kings, which is a great late-night game, and you sneak LA in there, right? You get a primetime spot in LA. You get to see Makar, McKinnon. Kopitar could be his last opening night game, right? It's the final year of his contract, so could be his last dance season, which will be interesting to watch. What a career he's had, by the way. One of the best centers, two-way centers, probably in NHL history. Anyway, so it's just the first game that really bothers me. What I would do, and I'm going to try and pull this up because I'm not just ranting here. I came with some ideas. Why not start with a Stanley Cup final rematch? Can you imagine the visual of the camera panning to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl while that banner's going up? And there's hatred. There's built-in hatred between these two teams. They just met each other in back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. By all accounts, from people covering the game, reporters, ringside guys, color commentary, former players who are in and around the game, saying that was one of the most intense series in terms of teams, in terms of players chirping each other and how personal it got. There is a hatred there. We saw the Panthers go on this tour after they won the Stanley Cup, and they just kept taking shots at the Oilers. And Edmonton hates that. McDavid hates that. And the fan base, like, there's a built-in rivalry there. And now I think we need more rivalries in the NHL. I'm not talking about true hatred where guys are jumping into the stands like Mike Milbury with the Bruins and beating the hell out of people with their own shoe. I mean, that'd be crazy to see and entertaining. But we need rivalries. It adds more to the game, right? People want to watch that. I would kick it off with the Oilers and Panthers in Florida. What a game that would be. And then I'd probably follow that up with, you want Pittsburgh, you want Crosby in there? Give me Crosby Ovechkin. How many more times is that going to happen? It's Ovi's last year, at least on his contract. He said he's not going to retire. At least I'm paraphrasing, but I don't think he is. Crosby's still around for the next 2 seasons at least. But how many more times are we going to see Crosby and Ovi? You're going to get eyes. You're getting tons of eyes on that, right? You just got the guy who holds the goal record in the NHL. You got Sidney Crosby, who's been one of the best players in the NHL for, 20 years, it feels like, and obviously Ovechkin as well. You'll prop that up. Put that in Pittsburgh or Washington. And then you wrap it up at the end. You could keep the Kings and the Avalanche. That's a great game. Or you want another built-in storyline that's, I think, would pull people in. You get Winnipeg and Chicago. And Jonathan Toews kicks off his first game after being gone for 2 years against his former team in Chicago, where he won all those Stanley Cups. He was the captain. He's a legend in Chicago. Who wouldn't want to watch that? Come on. Right? Is that not a great schedule compared to this? Let me know in the comments below. And then if you don't want to do that, then just do a full rivalry night. Triple header. Kick it off. Battle of Florida. Tampa. Panthers. Follow that up with another banger. The Leafs in Montreal. Right? Who doesn't want to see that? We know that's going to happen. It's almost like every single season, the second night we get the Leafs Habs. Put it on the first night. And then wrap it up with Edmonton Calgary. Battle of Alberta. Oh my God. Are you kidding me, dude? Who wouldn't want to see that? I feel like they dropped the ball here. Like, they're going to be going up against, I think, MLB postseason, maybe WNBA postseason, and they lost out to that last year. And so you need to give yourself, I think, a really good shot to, up that viewership. And I don't think this lineup does that. Just my opinion. But anyway, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think. What would you do? If you were the schedule maker in the NHL, give me your top 3 games to open up the regular season. Thanks for watching.